Hello friends, I am Dilip Singh. Uh, After watching this video lecture, if you feel that it was really helpful in order to learn the concepts, then please like and subscribe the video and feel free to comment or query if any. So, welcome to the 10th lecture of tutorial series for web programming. Today we will learn how we can add form in our web page, right? So let's see what exactly form is first. Basically forms are used for collecting the information or input data from the user. If you want to take some input from user in your web page or website, then you have to use form and form elements, right? For example, you may have seen the registration forms from where you can collect the user information or user input, such as his name, address, email, phone number, etc. So how we can put the form in our web page? So by using form tag simply. And the syntax of using form tag is, again, we have to open the form tag and then we have to close the form tag, and within that there would be one or more form elements, right? Like the input, text area. We will see what are these input form element, text area, or others. Okay, and let's see some most frequently used form attributes. So the one is action. An action attribute basically specify an address or URL, unique resource locator, URL, where to submit the form's input data. Correct. Basically when you will take input from user, then it should be mentioned where that input data should be sent and to which page that input data should be sent. So by using action attribute, we will specify the URL or path of that page where you want to send the data that you have taken as an input from users, right? And the second attribute is a method. Basically method attribute specify or method attribute is used to specifying what method should your web page used for sending the submitted or uploaded data, forms data. Okay, and the target you may be already knowing. In the last lectures we have seen the target attribute. That here also it is similar. The target attribute is used to specify and the location. Okay, so here in case of form, it is used to specify the location or window or frame where the result of the script will be displayed. So the target can be blank, it can be self, it can be parents, top, etc. Right, we already have seen the value of target when we were learning uh, links, right, anchor tag. So basically these three form attributes are most frequently used. Okay, the first one, okay, the scenario is like that. Suppose from your web page you want to take some input from the users, right? So you will create the form with its form elements. Okay, then user will insert or put their data, okay, their information like username, its mail id, his phone number, etc. So that data will be sent to whom? Right, that data will be sent to whom? That basically is specified by the action attribute. That data will be sent to which page and to whom, right? So the path of that page or script basically mentioned inside the action attribute, and the method will specify what method that web page or browser should use in order to send the collected data to that form which is specified within the action attribute. And target will specify after sending the data to the destination page specified by action attribute, the destination page or destination script will process that data and return the result to the web page. So target attribute will specify where to show the result that is returned from the that destination script or web page, correct? Whether the result should be shown in the same location, same page, or it should be shown into the new tab or new window, so that is specified by the target attributes. So we'll see how we can use all these things, but let us explore more about the method, right? The methods in HTML, the method attributes specifies the basically HTTP methods that to be used when submitting the forms data. So these methods can be either the get or post, correct? So there are two methods available for sending or uploading the data that we have collected from the user to the destination script or page which is specified in the action attribute. One is get and another one is post. So the question is when we should use get and when we should use post, right? And let me tell you that get is a default method. Suppose in form, when you create a form and if you will not specify the method attribute, so the when we submit the form data, the default method it will take get, okay? So when we should use get? When we basically submitting the data that is not having sensitive information within it, right? For example, like the keyword that we generally use for searching purpose, and or any information which doesn't contain any sensitive information within it, Okay, so that we can send to the here destination page. Destination page basically held within the server in a real world scenario. Okay, so that we can send to the server with the help of get element, right? Because when we use get method, the form data basically will be visible in the page address, right? So whatever data we will send, that data will be visible into the page address, right? Like here we used to specify the page address like www dot google dot, right? So here that data whatever we want to send will be visible. All right, that's why it is the get method is not used in order to send sensitive informations, right? Because it is visible in the um, page address bar. Okay, and but of course when non-sensitive data we want to send or short amount of data we want to send, then get is the best suited method, right? We'll prefer get for that. Okay, but when we should use post method, of course if the form is having sensitive information within it, suppose updating the data into the database in the server or password, right? So because post method offer a better security, and when we will submit the data using post method, then the data is not visible into the this address bar here, right? Okay. And action and method both are frequently used when we generally do the server side programming, right? Like PHP or maybe JSP, right? Java server pages. Okay, so these things are used when we do server side scripting in order to send the data that is collected from the user to the server or server script, right? So in more detail we will see these two attributes when we will cover the server side scripting, and we will see when we will learn the PHP portion of this video series of web programming. Okay, all right. Now, well, here we have seen that there is a form tag in order to put the form in our web page, but the form tag basically contains various form elements, right? So let's see what are the form elements available. So the form elements, the first is input element. Okay, so input element again, this is empty tag we can say, that's why, and it is closed within the opening tag itself. So input element is specified by the input tag, right? But the input tag having various variations, okay, and those variations we can get with the help of its type attribute, right? What exactly variations are like, we can see here the values of type attribute can be, so the input type can be text, right? The input type can be text, which is basically a single line text, okay, and it can be a password again. So text is used when whenever you want from user to collect a single line information or single line data, such as maybe username, right? And password is again type of input, right? So the password field, basically again it is a single line element, but it is used in order to collect the user's password information. We'll see how it is used. Then checkbox, right? You know what is basically a checkbox? uh, you, checkbox basically used to provide the facility or options to the user, from where user can select more than one choices from the given options. Suppose you want to know what are the languages that user knows, so you will give the option Hindi, English, German, French, and suppose user know more than one language, then user can check Hindi, English and German, right? So user can select more than one choices from the given options. And the radio, again radio is a input elements, which type attribute is radio. So when we use radio type, when we want to collect one choice from the given options, right? So with by using radio in our forms, user can select basically one choice from the given options. Like suppose you want to collect the information regarding the sex of the user, right? So you will, the user may be having two options here, either he is a male or she is a female, right? So they can choose anyone, either male or female, right? So when the user can select only one choice from the given options, then we can use radio type of input element, right? Similarly, there is another type attribute of input element, that is file. So suppose you want that user should upload some file, right? Like you want that okay, the user upload their resume, then you have to use the file input. Okay, now the form having, apart from these input type, there are three more type that basically belongs from buttons. So there is a submit button, reset button, and normal button, right? So submit button basically used for submitting the form data to the the destination page or destination script is specified by this action attribute, right? So submit button. Similarly, reset button is used to reset the form elements. Suppose user has filled the form elements, and now user check that he has entered the more or less many thing wrong, and the user want to reset it to its initial values. So user can use reset button. So how we will provide the reset button in our web page? Using the reset type of input. And if we want to provide the normal buttons in our web page, then there is a type button. So basically this normal button type is used to create the simple button which can be used to trigger the client side scripts, right? Like Java scripts. We'll see in this video series JavaScript. So we'll learn how we can use button in order to trigger the client side scripts and perform some task, right? Okay, so this was the first first form element, that is input element. Then there are some another elements like text area element. So suppose you want from user to take multi-line input, right? So how you can do, you have to use text area element in your form within your web page, like user address. Suppose you want to collect the address of a user, then user address is basically can be in multiple lines, so there we can use text area, right? And the another element is, sorry, the another element is drop down box. Suppose you want to facilitate the user to choose from the given drop down list. So for that there is a element select element with its option attribute. We will see in demonstration how we use it. So select element or a select tag basically used to create a drop down list, okay, from where the user can select its choice. Now in the last we will see how we can do grouping the form data, right? So there are two tags. One is a field set used to group the related data in a form, and another one is a legend tag, which basically used to define a caption for the field set element, right? We'll see how we will use and what these tags will affect the visibility of the form to the user, right? Okay, so let's begin the demonstration. So here again you can see that it's a basic HTML code structure here, and I have given the title adding form in our web page. So let us start from the body section.